Thank you. Thank you. Is this working? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, good. Good. Hi. Welcome to the Engadget Show. I'm Josh Topolsky, Editor-in-Chief of Engadget, and you are, of course, the beautiful Engadget Show audience. Thank you guys so much for coming. It means so much to us. We have a great show tonight. We've got a great guest. We've got a roundtable. We've got giveaways. We have music. It's all going to happen, and you guys are going to be here. And the doors are locked, so you can't leave, even if you weren't enjoying it. There's no escape. And that's how we do it at Engadget. Anyhow, I just want to tell you a little bit about the show. First off, it's sponsored by Sprint. I want to thank them for giving us the cash to put this on. They've been our sponsor for the whole run, which is amazing. And it's hosted by the Time Center, which is where you all are right now, except if you're at home, you're just in a basement or something, which is cool. Basements are great. You know what? There's nothing wrong with them. But our guest tonight is, I'm sure you guys know, John Rubinstein. He's from Palm, now at HP, leading the charge with WebOS. We're going to sit down and talk to him for a while about what's going on with WebOS products. And we have music from Minus Baby and visuals from the Seamen tonight. Go, make your own joke. I certainly have been all day. And then we've got the editors who will be out talking about gadgets, like some giveaways, some really good stuff. And I think we should just get underway. So please welcome John Rubinstein from HP. You made it. How are you? Good to see you. What is this? You brought me a bar mitzvah present.
I brought you a little present.
What is this?
Yeah, it's a little present from us today.
Should I open
Please
this now?
Please just crack it open, you bet.
Wow. I should have you on all the time. Wait a second. Oh my God. Really? Well, you really wrapped this up. You have a wrapping expert put this together.
So we got you a little...
It's a laser jet cartridge.
You know?
Wow. 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 You really pulled out all the stops. I mean, what?
Well, we figured you'd need this because you're going to be printing up a lot of resumes. And
well,
wouldn't want you to run out of ink.
I don't know. Leo called me. He said he had a very good position that was going to be opening up soon at Palm. So. Thanks for coming. Thank you for the laser jet cartridge.
And in fairness, we will actually get you a Veer, a Pre-3, and a touchpad. We'll get you some of the first ones off the line.
Like right now, later on.
Pretty soon. Pretty soon.
I don't know if everybody knows, but John was our first guest on the first Engadget show, which was awesome. And that was, you guys were just in the throes and the excitement of the original Pre. Mm-hmm. And boy, has a lot changed since that first show. So let's talk a little bit about how things have changed. Oh, let me get my notes out, actually. I have questions for you. So Palm on its own did not succeed in the way that you guys wanted to succeed. I mean, you were up against some pretty big competitors. Tell me about how the transition has been moving to HP, what it's like now to be part of this huge company, and have they been welcoming? Is this, you know, do you feel like you're, I'm not going to throw every question at you at once, but tell me about what that transition has been like.
I left my notes backstage, sorry.
Okay, I can put these away.
No, it's okay, it's okay. So what happened at Palm was we basically ran out of runway, right? We had great products, we had plenty of money, right? But if we fast forwarded to look to see where things would be in, you know, a year and a half, we didn't have the resources or the scale to be able to really compete with the other, so we say, large companies that we would need to compete with. So what we realized was that we were going to have to find a partner who had that scale. So by taking our innovation and our technologies and combining it with a company like HP, who's got, you know, incredible scale, it was a really good match. And you know, HP you know, recognized that it needed to get some real innovation in the mobile device space, and you know, WebOS and some of the products we were working on at the time, and some of the products they were working on at the time, you know, was a really good match.
So you don't feel the iPac was being they were being innovative with the iPac line of?
I leave that up for all of you to decide.
So who else did you talk to? Did you talk to? I mean, obviously HP
company
wasn't the
A, B, C, D, E, and F.
It was. Did you talk to Nokia?
Yeah, you know, it's A, B, C, D, E, and F.
How about, were there any talks with Apple? Did you have any conversations?
A, B, C, D.
So is that a yes? You did talk to Apple?
You know, if you go read the SEC filings, it's company A, B, C, D, E, and F.
How many companies was it?
Yeah, we had 6 companies that were interested in,
So
in
Apple,
the technology.
Google, Nokia.
This
is like a weird one. I like to know there's just a crazy company, like you were talking to Ford. Did you talk to Ford? A, B, C, D, E, and F. Wow, I can see where this is going.
You know, I don't want to end up with some stripes and in jail there. Or anything.
Oh, is that what would happen if you
violate SEC regulations? Yeah.
Okay, so you come to HP. What's it like being a part of this huge company? I mean, Palm was how many people did you have at Palm at the tail end of when you guys were pushing this stuff? How many employees did you have there?
So we had about 1,000 people at Palm. And what we did was we took the team at Palm and we combined them with one of the teams at HP that was driving their emerging businesses. Right? And so they were working on mobile devices and things like that. And so we actually brought a couple hundred people from HP and combined them with the Palm team. So today we're a global business unit, which is part of the personal systems group that makes the rest of the PCs. We are responsible for WebOS and the mobile devices.
It's a little more corporate structure you've got there.
A little more corporate structure, but we've, there's certain things we've integrated into HP. So legal and HR and finance and those type of things. Well, you and I would certainly consider it that way. If there's any accountants here, they may not agree, but but I suppose there's not really very many accountants here, are there?
No. Are there any accountants in the audience? Raise your hand.
We got
really?
one.
One accountant?
No.
All right. Do you find it boring, or do you feel like that's... No. So you're right. You were right.
But we put the engineering teams together. We got some great talent from HP in both the engineering side and in the management side. So we.
I mean, how many employees does HP have though total?
Total?
Yeah. I mean, I want to know. You went from 1,000 people to a company now, which is.
Well, it's 325,000.
325,000 employees.
It's over 300,000.
Wow.
Right? But we don't see that because we're in Sunnyvale. We're still at our old Palm global headquarters, and we've had lots of people come and join us. Some great executives came in from HP, and we're really pleased to have them on the team. We've hired some people from the outside. Ari Jaksi joined us from, I always pronounce his name wrong, it's Ari Jaksi. I'm learning my Finnish right now. So he joined us from Nokia, and he's running the WebOS.
In a meeting, perhaps.
He's running the WebOS team.
Company C. Company C.
And Richard Karras has joined us recently, who is CTO of Lucasfilms, and he's driving our developer relations team. And we have a really great team that we've put together. And lots of new people have joined us over the last 9 months, and if any of you out here are looking for something fun to do in California, we're always looking for great people.
Actually, I just got a LaserJet card because I've been printing some resumes. Yeah. Maybe we should talk.
Send one our way.
I'd be amazing in a mailroom, for instance, I think. If you need somebody to bring mail
I think
to people.
he'd be good at QA. I think he'd be a good QA guy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to do some QA, some testing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you wouldn't like me as a QA guy. Because you would never get the product out. Because I'd be like, you're almost there, John. You're so close, but you just need to move this pixel right 1 pixel over, and you'll be all set. This line is seriously. But I'll tell you what. I'll come out and I'll interview for a QA guy.
We love all the feedback.
Okay. Well, I love giving feedback. So it's really a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. So it's been how long since the acquisition?
So we closed the acquisition last July 1st.
Yeah.
And we've been very, very busy since then.
So let's talk about what you guys are busy doing. You've got 3 new products. You've got the Veer, the smallest phone on Earth, smallest phone ever created. The Pre 3.
So that's the Veer.
Here. Yeah, we have all this stuff here. We'll do a demo in a little bit with some of this.
The Pre 3.
The Pre 3, which is I mean, where do you put this in the scope of phones? Is this your competitor to the iPhone 4 and to the Nexus S?
I mean, this is our workhorse phone, right? It's meant for people who are doing serious stuff.
Businessmen like ourselves.
Business, or want to play hardcore games or whatever. Right. It's got a great keyboard and.
This is kind of a phone that I've been fantasizing about.
Well, this is the one you keep asking for. It's got a great high-res display. It's really nice.
So then you've got this other little product, which is not a big deal and nobody's talking about it at all.
Right.
Which is called the touchpad.
Right.
And this is tell us a little bit about this. It's a tablet.
It's a tablet.
10 point, what is this? Screen size 9.7?
9.7, right?
Yeah. 1024 by
1024 by
768.
768.
It's got a dual-core processor, clocked at
1.2 gigahertz. It's the latest Qualcomm 8060 processor. It's got kick-ass graphics in it.
front-facing camera. No rear camera.
No rear camera.
Is there any chance that this will show up with a rear camera?
There's always new things coming in the future.
But not this, but the touchpad is going to be launched as is without a rear camera.
Touchpad's coming out this summer. This is the feature set.
When in the summer? We'll talk about that in a second, but can you give me a firm date?
This summer.
So like June?
As soon as it's ready.
July.
As soon as it's ready.
Would you be willing to commit to August? August is considered to be the end of the summer.
No, actually, I had this discussion with a Wall Street analyst once.
Well, actually, September is really summer too.
Well, there you go. So this guy's asking me, well, when's the end of summer? And I'm like, dude, look it up in Wikipedia.
And then you quickly edited Wikipedia to make the end of summer, the end of September. While he turned around, you got on your phone.
Well, you take your pre and you type in summer and you hit Wikipedia and you're there.
So when is the end of summer?
End of summer?
Yeah.
September 17th, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something like that.
So would you commit to by September 17th?
Definitely in the summer.
Okay. In the summer. Early summer, late summer. Just give me a range.
Summer.
Okay.
A, B, C.
And that's for the pre 3 and the touchpad, but the Veer is due.
The Veer's coming very soon.
Give me an idea.
Soon.
Like a week? A week soon?
Soon.
A month?
Soon. Stay tuned. It's coming soon.
What's the range of soon? Where does that end? Do you want to look at Wikipedia? Soon actually ends on September 17th. A lot of people don't know that. In the spring, though.
This is coming soon.
The Veer is coming in the spring.
Absolutely.
Okay. What carriers are you going to launch with that?
Yeah. We haven't announced carriers yet. Look, you were there
Thank
February
you, everyone.
9th.
That's our show. It's like a stone, man. A touchstone.
I got lots of practice working with you.
I know, and I have lots of practice, but I'm going to keep going. So soon, sometime in the spring, right?
Yeah.
For the Veer.
For the Veer.
So tell me about the Veer. It's a very small phone. How large is the screen? It's a
2.7-inch screen.
Yeah.
All right. It's same resolution as the Pixie. So for those of you who have a Pixie or have developed on Pixie, it's same. It's got a cute little keyboard there. Everyone who holds one kind of goes,
do you see how tiny
this
phone
cute.
is? It's
right.
kind of.
But here's the thing. This is a full-featured WebOS phone. All right. And so all of the capabilities you'd expect on a high-end smartphone are right here.
But you can't read anything on the screen. It actually comes with a magnifying glass.
Getting old, aren't you? Getting old.
I am getting up there.
It's a very readable screen. And the thing is the general trend is everything's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we wanted to sort of veer a different direction.
Oh,
right? Yeah.
I see what you did there. Everybody catch that? Yeah. Veer in a different direction. The phone is called Veer.
So I mean, if you look at it, there's if you just want something that doesn't take up a lot of space in your pocket, and this is
you could fit two of these in a pocket.
You could but you don't need to. That's the beauty of WebOS. You only need one. You don't need to do I got my BlackBerry and my iPhone. You can just carry one WebOS phone. Right. This is HSPA Plus, right? So you get great performance on it.
That's either coming to T-Mobile or AT&T.
No, this is GSM phone.
It's a GSM phone, so it's coming to a GSM carrier. And since
you.
there's only one in America now, I think we have an idea. I got you. So, can somebody do a post on that really quickly?
But the other part is, if you're carrying around a tablet, why do you need two large screen devices? This is the perfect companion for a tablet. And you run the mobile hotspot on it, right? And you connect to a Wi-Fi tablet, and you're good to go.
So describe the user of this device. This is not, now you said the Pre 3 is the workhorse. That's I'm a businessman or businesswoman, I'm getting stuff done. Got to have a large display, got to have a larger keyboard. Who is this for? Is this for kids?
I mean, every person you've shown this to so far, I watch television.
Or the internet.
And I watch the internet, right?
Television and the internet.
And the internet, right? And they go, oh, that's really cute.
Yeah.
Right?
So people who like cute things.
People who like
people who are fans of lolcats. Basically, people on the internet. So this is for, but you're not targeting this. This is not like a kin thing where you're saying like this is going to be for kids, this is going to be for teenagers.
No, I think it's
teens and tweens.
It's certainly very attractive.
Well, Justin Bieber like this.
But I use it. I haven't asked him. But I mean, this is
your main phone.
This is my main phone. right? And so I use, a Veer, and I can kind of choose whatever I want to carry. I get that.
Well, not whatever.
Yeah, I carry whatever.
You'd be shocking if you had a BlackBerry.
Yeah. Or an iPhone.
Or an iPhone. Yeah. Well, we know you would have an iPhone.
We've been through this one already.
We know you don't want to have anything to do with that.
In any case,
but you're using it for your main phone.
It's my main phone, and it's
when you
got
take
a
it out, do people give you? Do they raise an eyebrow?
No.
What's the chip? It's a Qualcomm.
You know this stuff better than I do.
It's
right?
a
7230.
Yeah. What's it clocked at?
800, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And fully capable WebOS device can play any game, whatever you want.
You bet. Yeah.
And current software scales to that just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You bet.
I mean, it's the same size as the Pixie screen, so that makes sense.
That's right. Yeah. And so developers who develop for the Pixie, this is runs that way.
And you really do honestly feel there's a market for these tiny phones.
Yes, absolutely.
Because people they're getting bigger.
It's getting
bulkier
and bulkier. You got to have a belt with all kinds of stuff on it.
A utility belt. You don't walk around with a utility belt with a few large devices on it.
Try not to.
What's the pricing going to be on that?
Soon to be announced.
So AT&T this spring, pricing to be announced. Do you think it'll be less than $200? Less than 200? Subsidized?
A, B, C, D, E.
So Nokia's releasing. No,
all right, so let's go on to pre-3.
You want to talk about? Wait a second. So, but will it be cheaper than like an iPhone 4? Is it going to be a less expensive phone?
Yeah, we're going to announce pricing, availability, carriers, all that stuff really soon.
Let's talk about the pre-3.
Pre-3.
So this is for me. This is my phone.
This is the one that you
right?
Right.
This is the phone I've been waiting for.
Right.
But here's the question. So you
larger keyboard, high-res display.
It's got a how big is this? 3.6 inch?
That sounds right.
It's 800 by 480.
800 by 480.
Now, why not go higher? Everybody's doing higher resolution displays now. The iPhone 4 is 960 by 640. Is that right? That's right. The Atrix is 960 by 540. Why not go for because obviously people are moving away from the 800 by 480 displays. Android, that's kind of like the last gen. Now the next gen is higher res. Why do something? This is coming out in the summer. Why do something that's a lower resolution display comparative to the competition?
Yeah. So I mean, we think this is an ideal form factor with the keyboard and everything else. Since you have a physical keyboard, right? And you have
more real estate.
More real estate on the device.
Well, that is true.
Right. And this is a beautiful, beautiful display. Right, so,
but you don't have the keyboard up all the time on something like an iPhone. I mean, most of the time you're interacting with it in a non-keyboard environment. Yeah. So you didn't feel it was necessary to go higher? No,
I mean we have issues around wanting to make sure that developers have an easy time scaling, from our other products.
And what was the pre 2 is at, and the pre was at 320 by 480.
That's
no, what is it?
The other way around.
480 by 320?
I forget.
But if you had doubled that,
on the next
if you had doubled that, it would have been where the iPhone's at, because they did the same thing essentially.
Yeah.
So you went to a weird.
We went to a form factor we thought that would be really nice in your pocket.
But you feel like you're fine to compete coming this summer with whatever's coming out. This is fully competitive in every regard.
And, it's got 8x55. Qualcomm processor, which is a nice workhorse. It's got a front-facing camera.
Dual core or single core?
This is single core.
And what's it clocked at? One something.
I don't remember. You have to
above one.
You know all this stuff.
I don't. That's why I'm asking.
1.4 gigahertz.
It's 1.4.
It's 1.4
clocked
gigahertz.
At 1.4.
Clocked at 1.4 gigahertz.
Okay, so that's fast.
Yeah, fast processor.
And how much memory is in there?
Twice the memory of the Pre-2.
So 512.
Twice the memory of the Pre-2.
Is the Pre-2 512? No.
Yeah, twice the memory of the Pre. So
is it a gig? I don't know.
No,
Neither of us know. How's that possible? You run the company and I report on this stuff. What are we doing out here? We got to get an expert out here.
Someone look it up on Wikipedia.
Yeah, does anybody know? That's fine. We'll get back to it. So,
1.4 gigahertz, it's got the same memory as the Pre-2. The touchpad's got twice the memory as the Pre-2.
Right. Okay. So it's 512 and that has a gig.
It's a workhorse.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. But you're not using this yet. This thing is not finished. I mean, this is not ready for prime time.
We're in certification with carriers right now.
Okay.
So
it is ready.
That's an extended process.
So you could give one to somebody, like a tech reporter. You could just let them have one, just to play around with.
Okay.
Maybe they're going to have a lot of time on their hands.
In the future. If they're nice to me, I
will be very. I love these products and I endorse them,
consider.
and I think everybody should run out and buy them right now. Unfortunately, they can't because they're not available till
this summer.
Yeah. But soon for the Veer.
Soon for the Veer.
So does the Veer do touch to share? We'll talk about this in a second, but does that also have touch to share capability?
The first version that comes out, the revision of software that's on it, will not have the touch
It's
to
a
share.
software. It's a software.
But the
thing.
OTA will bring touch to share capability.
Okay, so let's talk about the. And by the way, carrier for the Pre-3.
Yeah.
Is it HSPA Plus?
This is we actually have two versions of this. There's an HSPA Plus and EVDO Rev A World
So
Phone.
AT&T and Verizon.
Right.
Are you going to partner with Sprint
D,
again?
Yeah. A, B, C, D, and E.
Because Sprint was your partner for the Pre.
Yeah.
Do you still have a good relationship with them?
We're going to be announcing carriers on this as we get closer. As we get closer to to announcing the pricing and shipping and all that. So.
That's very informative.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I aim to please.
Yeah. Well, you're sort of pleasing.
All right, let's move on. To the
Yeah,
next
let's move on to the touchpad. And can we? Actually, I'd like to. Well, let's talk
Let's
about
talk
the touchpad
about it
for a
a little bit.
second.
Yeah. So as we talked about, twice the memory, a high-performance dual-core processor. It's got Beats stereo speakers in it.
Yeah, you had
right?
Jimmy Iovine.
Yeah, Jimmy was there
at your event
talking about that. Yeah.
He's an interesting guy.
Yeah. And so the sound quality is great on it.
Is it? Can we hear? I mean, I don't know if this has any music on it. Does it?
No.
Okay. This is just the demo version.
Yeah.
But does it really sound better than
Well, you
an
plug,
iPad?
yeah,
or
you plug a set of headphones in, a pair of Beats headphones.
Oh, so the actual audio processing is better, but the speakers themselves.
Well, I mean, look, they're not exactly the, these
like a
large
subwoofer
mega
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
right? But it does have, high quality stereo speakers built in.
Just in landscape.
Right down here.
Yeah, it only has
Yeah.
one. It only has one set of speakers.
Yes,
Right.
one set of speakers.
Right. Okay. Good. All right.
Yeah. That's correct.
Okay. And so 9.7-inch screen, dual core CPU,
Dual core CPU.
gig of RAM. It's got this touch to share feature. Which can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah. So one of the things we wanted to do was make our products work better together, right? And so one of the keys of WebOS is that it's a cloud-connected operating system, tightly coupled into the cloud, and that the devices allow you to access your data there. We also wanted the devices to be able to share data easily between them. All right, and so we have this cool feature called Touch to Share.
Should we show this off? Can we get a camera up here over the shoulder? So now I demoed this. I went on late night and demoed this, and I have to say the audience they were oohing over it. This is one of those things where it's like, it seems pretty.
There we go.
It seems pretty magical. Can we call it magical?
This is pretty magical.
Would you say it's revolutionary?
I think it's pretty magical. So why don't you zoom out just a little bit more? A little bit more. That's perfect. So here we got
Director.
I want people to see what's cooking here, right? So we got Time magazine there, and I got my Pre-3, and I'm going to hit the road with it, and I want to make sure that whatever I'm looking at here on my touchpad, I can take with me on my Pre-3. So there you go. You see a little magic going on, right? There you go. And it will pull that same web page we were just doing.
I'm blaming this on the Wi-Fi network here.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Oh, is it HSPA Plus?
No, it's on Wi-Fi. So
it's on Wi-Fi.
So you can then easily move data.
But this is just the first implementation of.
Yeah, come on, that was cool, wasn't it? Yeah.
Is that? And it goes. You can go in the other direction, right?
You can go both ways.
You can go both ways.
Yeah.
So you can take the phone. You're looking at something. You're like, I want to see this on a larger screen.
Yeah. You just tap it.
What other applications do you see for this service or this new?
Well, I think long term there's a lot of different capabilities. So,
but right now you're just sharing web pages. But do you see?
But you can extend that to today extends to anything that has a URL, right? So you can photos, et cetera, right? But it's extensible.
You can do it for images in the gallery app, for instance.
So we're going to be extending the capability as we go forward.
Is that going to be something you open to developers as an API that they can access?
Yes.
So you're going to give developers the ability to use this touch to share feature for kind of whatever they want. They can use it for games or. Yeah. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
It's a really cool feature.
And this does some other stuff that's sort of interesting. You do some Bluetooth, some touchstone Bluetooth stuff where if you come home, you did a demo at your event. If you come home and you put your phone down on the touchstone, you can then get calls on your.
Yeah. So let me talk about a couple of things. So first of all of these have touchstone technology built in. So touchstone technology is our inductive charging technology. So instead of having to plug in a cable or whatever, you just put it on a nice stand, and it just starts charging.
You don't actually plug it in when it goes on the stand.
Doesn't, yeah. Just,
and the phones just rest on a touchstone
Same
dock.
thing on the phones. You know, we have a touchstone dock that goes with them. Now the touchstone can also help you pair Bluetooth, so you don't have to go through the whole pairing thing. You can just touch and it pairs the Bluetooth.
So you're competing with PowerMat on this idea of inductive charging, right?
I'd say they're probably competing,
They're competing with,
us.
you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we
you know
had
what
it
you
first,
should do?
yeah.
I mean, HP has a lot of money, right? HP is pretty loaded.
Yeah.
You should buy PowerMat and then make all that stuff touchstone
Well, you
compatible.
know, get that resume ready.
So
and
I'm
come
working on it.
Put you
I got my cartridge right here.
M&A department. Then the other cool thing is you know, in the same vein of working better together, is you can get a phone call on the device, right, on your Pre-3 or your Veer, right, and it will show up on your touchpad, right. You can get an IM or a phone call.
You can answer the phone on your touchpad?
You can answer the phone on your touchpad.
That's
or
pretty
you can
cool.
get an IM
That's a
and you
pretty
can
cool
handle
idea.
the IM on your touchpad.
Okay, so let me ask. So this stuff is all. I mean, I'm very excited about these products. I think they're very cool. I wish the screen were a little high resolution on the Pre-3, but I'm still.
I'll go work on that.
I'm still
for
going
you.
to run out. Could you?
Yeah.
Oh, are there any plans to do? I mean, I got a lot. I asked for questions. I said, hey, I'm talking to you tonight. Do you have any questions? A lot of people said, are they going to do a slate device? Do you have any plans? I mean, you sort of don't sound excited about these 4.3-inch big slate phones that everybody's putting out. Is there a plan to do something that's just a touchscreen device, that's maybe a larger device, that's not in the same class as what you have here? Because these are all very specific, right? You've got a tablet, you've got this mini phone, you've got the phone with the keyboard.
It's a nice family.
It's a beautiful family.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to adopt this family, bring it into my home. But do you have plans for something that's like a larger device, a slate device with no keyboard? I mean, you're doing a virtual keyboard. You have one on here. We saw one in a recent version of WebOS for phones. So is that device in the offing?
Yeah. So I mean, we have lots of plans, but we're not going to share them tonight.
So I'm going to take that as a yes. I'm going to say that that's a yes. So let's talk about. So this stuff is really great, and I'm excited about it. But you've got some pretty fierce competition going on right now, and obviously WebOS is a very, very beautiful and very functional operating system. But you're going up against iOS. You're going up against Android. You're going up against RIM and their new products. And obviously iOS has a huge foothold right now, especially in the tablet market. Android is everywhere. RIM phones are everywhere. I mean, how do you now compete with this stuff? Because you guys are starting basically from scratch at this point. I mean, you've got what's your percentage in the marketplace of WebOS?
Today it's a small percentage. I mean,
like 4%?
You know, to be honest with you, its number's so small it doesn't matter.
It's low,
today.
right. So how do you come back from this?
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing about being part of HP, right? So HP has tremendous capabilities of taking products to the market, right? So they have very tight ties to large consumer retail channels. They have very tight ties to enterprise customers around the world. You know, they're in, I don't know, 174 countries, and I mean, they're a truly global, massive company.
Big footprint for distribution. This is the argument.
That's part of the argument.
Right.
I think that's part of the argument.
Right. And then we know, and I get that argument. Like, I actually want to move beyond that argument because I get that HP can get these things in front of people. But the real question is not can they get it in front of people. The question is why, as a consumer, will I decide to purchase just because it's in front of me? The iPad's in front of me too, right? Apple's no slouch when it comes to distribution. So tell me why I'm in a store, I'm in a Best Buy, and I've got the touchpad and I've got the iPad. And I know the iPad has this huge, you know, tens of thousands of apps and a big user base right now. What is, you know, it's hooked into the iTunes ecosystem. Tell me what the compelling, and I've asked you this before, and I think now you've got products here that you can explain.
We'll talk a little bit more about. Yeah. So you know, I think there's a variety of answers there. For one thing, our products are just different, right? We're not. I mean, you know, everyone else is kind of the same, right? We're bringing all kinds of leading edge technologies and capabilities, true multitasking, synergy capability. You know, our Just Type is a really cool feature. Touchstone charging, you know, non-obtrusive notifications, our over-the-air update mechanism. So you don't.
Well, a lot of this stuff Android does. I mean, you're describing.
You don't have to own a computer, right, to have the product.
Right, but we're talking about Android and iOS,
we've got a great user interface.
Well, that is true.
You know, it's I would, you know, a little biased, but you know, it's second to none, right? And you know, having it be you know, connected across a variety of devices, having a consistent user experience across all those devices. Now, we haven't talked about this yet, but you know, what we've announced as part of HP is we're bringing it to, you know, to both printers and to the PC as well.
Yeah, you're
so we're
bringing-
going to have a huge footprint.
Well, this is I wanted to ask you about this. So yes, you're going to have a footprint, and you feel the product is differentiated.
Absolutely.
Right, and it's differentiated enough, and the experience is good enough for a user who's in a Best Buy that you think that they're going to make the decision. You feel strongly they're going to make the decision to choose WebOS and choose a touchpad over an iPad.
You know, what we find is that when people try WebOS, you know, they don't want to go back, right? That they love the multitasking experience, the deep integration of a lot of the applications where they're not just stovepipes, but they actually interact with the other applications on the device. You know, things like just type. I mean, you pick up a device, you just start typing, you do gesture, and nothing happens on the other devices. And, you know, it's frustrating.
So the experience is the experience plus this huge distribution, this fire hose of distribution. You feel like that's enough to get in there. And are you? I mean, obviously, developers need to be on board for this as well because people don't want an island. They want a platform with bridges. So you feel you'll be competitive when it comes to getting apps, high-end apps, the stuff that everybody's talking about, the things that people want to play or want to use. You feel like you're going to be there now? I mean, is that because you haven't been there? Obviously, WebOS has been struggling in terms of you've got a great, very passionate developer base, but not the kind of developer base of an iOS or even Android.
Right.
So you feel like you can get there?
I think that's fair, but I think we've done remarkably well given our footprint. You know, we are the easiest platform to develop for. We've got great
scientifically
tools.
proven. The easiest platform to develop for?
You can come and do the test.
Well, I can't code for
we have you know, for example, we have our Aries, which is our online, you know, in a browser development tool. It's drag and drop, and you know, you can build whatever application you want right there. You know, our PDK, our plugin development kit, allows you to bring, you know, applications over from other platforms. So, you know, something like Angry Birds comes over in just a few days to you know,
porting from iOS
to do the port from iOS.
Pretty easy, right?
Very, very easy. So I think you have it's really easy to port to. We're going to have a really large installed base when you add the not only these devices, you know, which you know, I mean, you can't compare what's happened in the last year versus what's going to happen in the next year. So I think we're going to come on really strong with these devices. You know, we've got a really strong developer team we're building under Richard Karras right now. He's getting a lot of traction. I think in the enterprise, you know, one of the things, you know, we're kind of at this focal point between consumer and enterprise is where we're sitting right now, and that's not something new. That's something that you know, Palm was traditionally there, and so our goal is to really bring those great consumer experiences, right, and combine that with the enterprise capability that's CIO friendly, shall we say? Right. And putting those together and then taking those through, you know, HP's really strong enterprise channels. Combine that with working together with you know, enterprise application developers. You know, I think we have a really
so you feel
strong
like
story there.
You can get into where RIM is right now, where Microsoft has traditionally been with enterprise stuff. Let's actually talk about. I mean, we're running out of time, but there's a couple of things that I do want to bring up. You mentioned easy to port iOS. We saw this announcement from Research in Motion. They're going to have Android, some type of Android functionality on their Playbook tablet, which I want to talk about a little bit more. But anything like that in the offing for you? Any possible? Do you see a path to something where you're able to, you know, you make it possible to either quickly port or just wholesale run Android software on your device? I mean, it's obviously open.
Yeah, you know, it's not something we feel we need to do right now. I think we're getting a lot of traction with the efforts we're doing.
Right.
And you know, if you go forward, you know, applications are absolutely important, no question about it. But I think the content is going to become even more important as we go forward, right? Especially on devices like the touchpad. So, you know, that's an area where HP has some real strengths. I mean, it's got very, very strong relationships with all the content providers.
You mean in terms of like movies and music? I
mean, you know, HP is a very trusted and respected partner and has been for years. And so we're getting, you know, just great responses from people like Time or you know, Amazon for that matter. I mean, we've got a great Kindle app on the device.
So you don't see Android in the offing for your devices where you'll make them compatible in some way, or
like I said, I mean, right now it's not something we feel we need to do.
But you don't have a music service. I mean, there is no iTunes for WebOS devices. HP doesn't have a music purchasing service.
Well, actually, on device we have You know, we have the Amazon MP3 store, so you can buy music from there. We will, when the touchpad ships, we'll have software that allows you to easily sync with iTunes. HP acquired Melodio a little while ago, and so there's some fun stuff that's going to be coming out from that direction. I mean, we have a whole variety of solutions in this area that I think makes it extremely competitive.
But for content, I mean, you need to give customers an easy way, right, a central way to get this stuff.
Yeah, well, we have an easy way to either, if you're an iTunes fan, just bring it right from iTunes very easily, right? Or if you're, you want to buy it on Amazon, you can do that.
Okay, so there's so much I want to talk about, and I don't think we're going to get to all of it. There's a couple of big ones. I want to talk about RIM a little bit more. So they are just on the verge of launching the Playbook. You've seen the Playbook, right?
I've seen pictures.
Have you ever used one?
I have not used one.
You're not going to, right?
I've looked over someone's shoulder while they were using it.
Okay, so I think you can see there's some similarity there between.
Looks pretty familiar.
Between WebOS. I mean, are you guys?
What do you
familiar?
guys think?
Yeah,
pretty
you guys
familiar.
are familiar with the Playbook. I mean, it essentially uses cards. You have your apps and cards. You scroll through them. You can swipe them away. He actually has gestures from off to the side to bring them up. How does that make you feel? I mean, does that bother you? Does that?
I suppose I should be flattered. Is that the right response?
Well, I mean, or suing, right? I mean, is there any impulse there to go after, to say, hey, this is our IP. This is something we created.
Those type of things are very difficult to defend in a lawsuit. So.
Right. So no, you're not going to sue.
Well, anything's possible.
So you will sue RIM. But it's not. Is it upsetting?
Well,
it looks like your work is what I'm saying.
I mean, look, we started from the very beginning. Our goal was to create something that was a great user experience. We started basically from a blank sheet of paper. We had the Palm DNA we got to start with, and what made the original Palm products really great. I mean, how many people remember their Palm Pilot? See. So the first trios, right? So you see, there you go. So we distilled, So we distilled that down, right? And created WebOS out of that. And we worked really hard to not just copy everybody else, right? Which is kind of, there's perhaps a lack of innovation in the industry.
A lot of Me Too.
There's a lot of Me Too going on, and we didn't want to be like that, right? And so we worked very hard to really understand how users could use this and make it just simple and elegant and a beautiful experience that it just works the way you do. That was always the objective.
So it does hurt when you see the Playbook.
I haven't used one, so I don't know how if it just kind of looks the same or if it actually works the same, because there's a big difference.
Similar.
Yeah, it's a
Pretty
big
similar.
difference. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to have to wrap up, unfortunately. I could keep you out here all night, but WebOS on desktops. This is the thing that has been talked about a lot. HP is talking about it. You guys are talking about it. Explain to me what WebOS on a desktop or laptop computer looks like, what it feels like, how it works, and why I want it.
Yeah. So
just a simple.
Yeah, no, it's simple. So the objective here is not to replace Windows, right? I mean, Windows is we sell a lot of Windows PCs. Right. I think it's like 60 million a year or something like that.
Is that all? Is HP the biggest?
HP is the biggest, yeah. And so the idea is to bring that great WebOS experience, that cloud connectedness, into a window on top of Windows, so that you have the best of both worlds. You have your traditional Windows experience, right, and to share data and access your content in your various places in the cloud, to get access to synergy and some of the other great capabilities WebOS has, is have that environment on the device as well.
So it's a skin? Like, what is it? Explain the experience.
It sits in a window.
It's window.
It's windowed.
Okay, so it's not like a full screen experience where you can go back to the OS if you want.
No, it's in a window, so you can either
what's
open
happening
a Windows window or
does it interface with my contacts on the computer? Is it pulling my?
No, it talks to the cloud, just like the rest of your WebOS.
Can I play games in it?
We're going to have more data on that later.
So maybe.
We're going to have more data on all that later.
But you're talking about the full WebOS environment as. But would I be able to use a WebOS
experience.
app?
Yes.
So like Angry Birds.
Well, you'll be able to use WebOS apps.
So it is WebOS on a desktop in a window.
Yes.
So you could do it for Mac, right?
We do it for Mac. I suppose.
Would you
but,
consider doing that?
You know, we're busy right now doing it on Windows.
Right. And on that, I think we have to end. John, thank you so much.
Great to see you.
Hang on, stick around. We've got a quick little video that Nick Criscolo did for us. He's the guy who did the 8-bit Zardoz, and I want you to take a look, and you're free to go now. So,
Hey, pleasure.
So thanks again.
Always a
Stick
pleasure.
around.
Thank you, everyone.
Today we have the latest product from Opal, the FriendBot. In fact, we have an army of them.
An army? Seriously?
They'll be performing kendo sword style for demo purposes.
Seriously? I always knew this day would come. Try my SD card Ninja Stars, Killbot.
Josh, that won't work. They're Opal products. They don't have SD card slots. It's a closed ecosystem.
Damn, I should have known. Good thing there's an app for this.
Let's do this!
Leave this one to me. Hey, Nilbot, care to take this outside?
Pathetic human. You don't have what it takes to defeat me.
You don't even know you're already dead. Now that I've read Engadget of Killbots, it's time for me to go. Wherever careless designers unleash their murderous gadgets on mankind, I'll be there. That was a little depressing, I'll be honest with you.
Really sad.
Will I be there? Who knows? That was by Nick Criscolo, who, as I said, he did the 8-bit Zardoz that we got high and drunk in front of at the
Oh my God.
at CES this year.
I see that Zardoz.
Not high,
mind
just drunk.
starts
I do want to say on behalf
Don't do drugs. Stay in school.
on behalf of humanity, thank you for saving us
Well,
from
it
the
was,
Killbot.
it was a team effort.
Yeah, but you know,
really.
the SD cards. That was
Yeah.
good.
Well, that didn't work.
I think
it's a closed
it's
system.
a closed ecosystem.
But it's a good try, though.
It's the
Closed
best line in
ecosystem.
the whole thing.
No, that was very special, and Chad had us record audio for it.
So I have this MP3 on my computer of Paul just saying, "Let's do this,"
Yeah.
like over and over again.
It was
like
it's,
pumps me up.
If you're not a voice actor and you have to do voice acting, anyhow. But I don't know if you know who these guys are. This is Joanna Stern. This is
Hello.
Nilay Patel and Paul Miller. Totally forgot to introduce you. You're over
I
here.
don't know anyone. We go
Just
through the
hanging
audience,
out.
each person to introduce myself.
And we wanted to have a round table for you guys. For you guys,
Yeah,
you
well,
may
it's a
not be on
send-off.
the next round table.
Paul and I have to go.
We have to
build the next
wherever
generation
there's
of Killbots.
wherever
We've
there's
gotta build more
murderous
Killbots.
Yeah, there's murderous
closed
gadgets. But
ecosystem.
we have stuff to talk about, and I think we should get into it. And I believe we want to lead off with.
Yeah, so
What are we
Joanna was
leading
just
off
at CTIA,
Yep.
and she also has a Samsung Series 9.
Where I got all of these laptops. No, I
Do you want me
didn't.
to hold one of those
1,000
for you?
laptops.
I can. Just give that to me. No, so these are the Series 9.
I'm going to give you the Windows one, because I know how
cool.
much you love.
Does this have WebOS on it?
Yep.
So this is the this is beautiful. This is the Series 9.
Yep, that's the Series 9.
Can you guys see this side?
Came out last week.
It's really, really very sexy. In fact, I'm going to take
It's
this back
almost
home
as
with me.
So it's
slim
almost
as-
the same as the Air, right? So
Yeah, but
this is
Air.
basically
But
the
here's-
Air competitor from Samsung.
But it's so plasticky.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, well, the bottom is
The
plastic.
bottom is, but I think
Yeah.
the top, I mean, the whole thing is made
the-
of Duralim. That's their
Duralin.
Yeah,
I
Duralin.
get confidently said that. Like, oh, Duralin.
Yeah. It's the stuff that aircraft are made out
material.
of. And it started really quickly.
I
That
just
was
want to
Duralin.
know why.
What are you talking about?
Why is the trackpad being moved to the left? Can anybody tell me what's going
You
on
have
with
this
computers?
problem. You always think the trackpad
Why can't
is
they
on
put
the
it in
left.
the middle? Apple's the only company that now puts the trackpad in the middle.
They want to put it right under the space
Does anyone know why it's to the left?
Because under the spacebar.
But that's the theory behind it.
What? That doesn't. But you can put the space bar in the middle. I mean, that doesn't
I
make
can
any
barely
sense.
see the difference.
Okay, well, this is a minor thing, but tell us about it. You just reviewed this, right?
This is why you won't
the
get hired
review
as
Oh,
is
you're not
in the
allowed to
trial.
review it. You're reviewing it.
I'm reviewing it.
So
Yes.
I'm just going to be the spokesmodel.
It's not.
How
Yeah,
is
you
it?
look exactly like the one Samsung brings out at
Yeah. Have you ever seen
put on
the
a
Korean at the
bikini,
Korean
a
events?
bikini
That's
would
me.
look great on you.
I'm wearing a
That's
bikini
exactly.
under this outfit.
Samsung stickers on both sides.
A lot of people don't know that.
So yeah, I mean, besides it being really thin, which it is, it actually has a full voltage, standard voltage processor, the new Sandy Bridge
Sandy
Core
Bridge.
i5.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
So
impressive.
it's much faster than the Air.
It
right?
is.
How's battery life?
That's remains to be seen. I've been using it for the past day, and I've gotten about 5 hours, just about 5 hours.
And how's that compared to you've used?
Well, that thing's like 8
This thing is-
and
yeah.
change.
And is
Yeah.
it 8? You've
Yeah.
been using it?
Yeah.
But this isn't a low voltage processor.
Right.
This is
This
like
isn't some
and
weak
this is
garbage.
a-
This is the real deal.
Right.
Yes.
Not
I mean,
this
the
is weak
processor in
garbage
this
at
is
all. It's
a
wonderful.
Core 2 Duo from like 3
Well,
years
no,
ago.
it is kind of
No,
weak
it is
garbage.
weak
Yeah, it's
garbage.
definitely weak garbage.
It's not
right?
fast. I'll say that.
Right.
It's
So
not,
this
it's
is
not-
really fast.
But this is like you could replace your current desktop or your laptop with this, no problem.
Yeah, I
Right?
mean, with the few sacrifices of ports and.
Oh,
et
ports are
cetera.
for losers,
Yeah,
man.
ports, who needs ports? But
Wait,
I
wait,
think
but it
it's
has
really.
the flip down.
it's in the cloud.
Yeah, it has
It does.
it has
They
the
come
door
down.
from
Look at
the
that.
first generation MacBook Air.
They thought of everything.
They thought of
They
everything.
thought of what Apple thought of the generation.
But this is what's
They
the
copied
what they
it from
thought
them.
of.
They took it
what's
right
the
from them.
what's the resolution? Screen resolution?
I think it's 1366 by 7.
That's not cool. Can you get a higher res display?
No.
like as you're shopping.
Not
No.
interested.
But it has
I just gotta buy this.
the display's matte, which is really nice.
gotta buy a new laptop
and it's,
bag.
400 nit, so it's really bright and yeah.
Well, so I think this
I
like
don't know. This looks like a really low resolution screen to me.
I mean, it is. I mean,
This is pathetic. No, but actually, it's a really beautiful laptop. This is the same resolution as this, right?
yeah.
no,
just-
that's
why can't-
1440 by 900.
You can
Oh, the
get
13
but
is
can you get
14?
two?
No.
Oh no, right, the 11
Right.
inch.
So, and the thing is, that's more expensive than the Air.
Right.
So the Air starts at $13.99,
right.
$12.99,
And
They need an
when you go
option.
up to 256,
and it's
Gigabyte
$15.99.
SSD.
So that thing is $16.50.
right, and this starts at 1650. That's
I
correct.
can't believe I'm getting a
a
security
lot of money.
alert in
I just-
Windows.
Which is like kind of, it's funny because Windows laptops, you expect them to all cost $700.
Right.
And that's it. Like that's the only price of
Right.
Windows laptop.
But
you
it-
need.
Well,
You have
but
to-
that's the big myth, isn't it? That's the
Right.
that's the myth of the cheap Windows. It's like, yeah, but if you start to match the specs,
Right, yes.
or
Which many trollish commenters in our comments do, all
this-
day
but
and all
if
night.
you start
yeah.
to match the specs here, that has like a
Right.
10-year-old processor.
So you're basically
not
paying
bad. It's old, though.
$200 more for a better processor.
but you also have to use Windows. So,
Some of
not
us
that there's
like
anything wrong with
Windows.
that if you like
And actually,
lots
they
of
really
updates.
improved the trackpad too.
And didn't you say this is the best Windows
Yeah.
PC trackpad you've ever seen?
Yeah, so you can.
So this is like,
you can do like swiping
Ooh,
up
can
and
you,
down.
here, why don't we
and-
show
it's like
humans?
Windows manufacturers like, oh crap.
So
the
it's-
main
it's-
way to use this thing is the trackpad. We should make those good. And they've been working on it for like 5
well,
years. and haven't
Synaptics
got
is
there.
the only one
There's
that's
been
really
a-
working.
Synaptics, but this is the latest Synaptics trackpad,
There's
which
been a real-
is a lot better than the past.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
not saying it's
trackpads
great.
on
It's
PCs
not
can
perfect,
tend
but
to be not very disappointing.
very disappointing.
Yeah.
So this
So,
leads
yeah.
us into, there's a bigger Samsung story here, because in many ways this feels like they saw the MacBook Air, and they're like, oh man, we have to make a really thin laptop. And they got pretty close.
Yep.
It's a little bit thicker than the Air. Did you do the,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
we should do the
let's
shot
put
with
them on
the
the
jib
table.
What are we
on.
doing?
Let me see this
Can
thing.
we do this?
Comparison
What's
on
happening?
the
Do you want to
table.
go head to head? Where do you
do.
want this?
Here.
You want to go to upside? Where do you want it? Upside down? Should I just put it over
quit.
here?
Let me see
You want to
this.
just, here you go.
Here,
just take that.
let me
Just-
have
you
this.
can have that. Go
Can I
ahead.
have this? It's mine.
There.
Come here, camera.
Come here. Come to.
Come here, camera. It's not a dog.
You got a whistle.
Oh, it's
Or we do handheld.
demand.
How about that?
sorry, I didn't mean to call you like that. So you can see,
Charming. He's a charming man, isn't he?
so you can see it's just a little bit thicker than the Air, but it's got a bigger processor. It's actually a little bit lighter, and
A little. I
It's
think
made of
I-
plastic. That has a lot
No,
to do
it's
with
not made
it.
of plastic.
and I think
it's
there's
made
more
of
battery in
Duralin.
this one. Duralin.
Okay, but
I just made that word up, but
this
it's made of it.
This is plastic.
Right.
The bottom is, I think, is
You
plastic.
hear that?
Josh is leaving to start a new show. Josh Topolsky identifies materials.
Yeah. This is definitely plastic.
This is glass.
This is for mica. This is definitely for mica. Rubber, some kind of rubber. Rubber.
Muscle.
So let's talk about. So they did this. Let's talk about what they did at CTIA, because the iPad 2 came out,
Yeah,
and they were
similar
going to do a
story.
suite of tablets.
Yep.
And they basically said our tablets are too thick.
Right,
Man, they
so-
made that
Did
thin.
they really
I don't-
do this? I
Yes,
don't-
they
I-
really did this. So this is the story. I was at Mobile World Congress, and they released the 10.1, the Galaxy Tab 10.1.
That was
it was
in
about
February.
Right. No, we were living in a pre-iPad 2 world.
Pre-iPad 2. Can you even remember it?
I can't even remember.
And now we're in the post
It was like a bad dream.
And now we're in the post-PC world and
Yeah,
the
post-PC,
post-iPad 2
pre-
or current iPad 2 world. So they released this, and it was actually, it was a decent-looking tablet. It was really light, but it was pretty thick. I don't know the exact measurements, but I'd say
It was as
like
thick as a
here,
copy
right?
of War
It
and
was like
Peace.
this.
It was like this.
It was
Okay.
enormous.
So they released this. It had honeycomb, no TouchWiz, it was stock honeycomb, a Google experience.
H-comb.
H-comb. So they do this. Then the iPad comes out. I don't know if I think you were
The
there.
what?
The
The
iPad.
what pad?
The iPad 2.
Oh,
I think
I
you were
heard
there.
something about it.
I think you were there.
The iPad 2
Yes, the iPad
Yeah.
2.
iPad DOS.
was released.
That's what they-
It was very thin.
It was very thin.
Remains thin.
Right, and
Yes.
Samsung, one of their executives actually had a
Right.
quote that said, "Wow, they really made it thin."
Right. And they basically said like,
That's like that was her whole quote. Like, wow,
Why- here's my
that's
question.
we
really
need to
thin.
go back to the drawing
Here's my
board, is
question. Why
basically
didn't they
what he
just go to China and find one of those
One of the
iPad 2
cases.
shells that somebody had made, like the one that we found at CES,
Right.
and
It
go,
would've been pretty easy for
so
them to
they're
go.
gonna make it this thin. We should.
And how are they already showing off a thinner?
Right, so let's
this
just
is what
finish the story
happens
out
at
here, yeah.
CTIA, right? So the iPad came out. Josh went there. He did a wonderful live blog.
It was amazing.
It was
I gotta
pretty-
admit.
Everyone found
breathtaking.
out about the iPad 2, including Samsung, and they said, "Oh, CTIA is coming up. We should prep a new tablet."
But it's only been a month.
Yeah.
How
so
could they possibly?
Actually, it seems that they were going to come out with an 8.9-inch version of that tablet. That was already in the plans, right? But they actually
Because they were doing all those promos where
Right.
it's 7, 8, 9, 10.
right.
So they already announced the 7 and the 10, and so the 8, 9 was like
It's
the
going to
joke.
be in the middle.
Oh.
It's the
It's-
one
it
that's
was
just
not-
I
right.
get it.
Yeah.
So it's
Always
gonna be-
thinking Samsung.
And so they at CTIA they held a press conference and they showed off these thinner tablets. They weren't working yet, so they're very thin.
They pulled a Dell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have the picture someplace?
Yeah,
Is that it?
we have a picture somewhere.
Yeah, there it is.
Beautiful
Yeah, so they're
carpet.
very thin. We have a number of pictures of this thing.
It's really good. Yeah,
Whose watch is that? Is that yours?
that's mine.
I don't watch is that. That's
Yeah.
nice.
This very watch.
I do work for Michael Kors.
Oh, it's a Michael Kors.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
All right.
Actually, some
But
of the
let's-
commenters have said that it looks like a man's watch.
Is it a man's watch?
No.
Well, it looks like one.
We are about as
We're going
thoroughly
to go
off
off,
topic
right.
as
Nothing
we
wrong
can.
with that.
Anyway, so they came to CTIA with the 8.9-inch Galaxy Tab and the 10.1, so it's still the same
Right,
name.
and they renamed
And
the
they
old
renamed
one
the
as a
old
V.
one with the V, which is
And that's-
because
and
it's going
that's
to come to
inter-
Vodafone.
And these are already like solid prototypes. Like this
They
is,
don't
honestly
work.
felt like wooden
They just-
mock-ups.
Oh. Well,
So
that's,
Samsung was like,
So they're basically like, we're going to announce these, we're just going to show them, and they're going to come out in June.
this is a total Dell move.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Because
a
they
total
They
Dell
did this with
move.
the Adamo,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
They were like, here it is, check it out.
Yeah.
Don't touch it, see you later. This
Yeah.
is really thin.
I mean,
That's
this is,
exactly
It's
what
real,
they
it
did.
exists. Don't, no,
yeah, and
no, we
Samsung
gotta
was like,
go.
oh, that always works so well for Dell.
Yeah, right.
Let's cop that.
Eli Patel won't be too. Well, they're probably like, he left, so
Yeah, he's gone.
we can just do whatever now. Nobody's going to call us on it.
So anyway, the hardware does look nice. It's really thin, but they were showing the software experience on the older version,
Right, and they have like
which
a
isn't
skinned
confusing
version
at
of
all.
Honeycomb.
Wait, is
right?
it skinned? It's not
Yes,
skinned.
it is
It's
skinned.
TouchWiz UI for
It's
Honeycomb.
not skinned,
I
but there's
heard that it
some
just had
optimization.
TouchWiz widgets.
Yes,
And that
that's
it
right.
does not have a TouchWiz skin.
That's right.
Oh.
Which is the current rumor now
Is that they've held back
is-
Honeycomb, right?
is that they're not letting people actually like skin honeycomb. You have to put
Right.
the quotes around it.
which is different than what
is that they're saying
Matthias
like
said otherwise at CES, didn't he?
well, I don't remember his exact wording, but I could see them going like we're letting people customize it with their own widgets and their own apps.
But it's open source. I mean, what are they going to do? Like, take this for free and do whatever you want with it, but here's a list of things you can't do?
Well, even though this week we heard they're
Someone
holding
playing
back.
techno music
Yes,
in a
somebody's
room
playing
off to
drums.
the side here. Do you hear that? It's the ghost of a disco dancer.
But you're totally right on that. They're not like totally skinning like the app drawer doesn't look like the TouchWiz.
This is really distracting.
It's like the
It's
Telltale
getting
Heart.
closer.
Is
to
it
the real
yeah, it is. Okay, I killed
I
him.
think it was Samsung.
He was so annoyed.
It could be Samsung.
Wow. And now that I admitted it, The spirit can ascend to heaven free of having to tell people that I killed that person. I don't know what
you
we're
just
talking
did
about.
on your show.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Okay, so honeycomb.
Back to honeycomb. But they're not actually skinning, right?
They're widgets,
Was there
and then
wood
there's an
on
app
anything?
tray.
Was there like a wood tone on anything?
What they
Yeah.
did with the Galaxy tab.
Yeah.
Right.
Made it all crappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
And like you can swipe up from the bottom, and there's an app tray. I don't know why they.
Oh, so there is. There
So
are.
there's like
Yeah.
a light level. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't
And they-
imagine Samsung being like, "Oh man, here's honeycomb. It's pretty good. We'll not crap this up."
Right.
But
Like, that
I mean,
doesn't-
no, but I'm interested to know, like, okay, maybe they have an app tray, maybe they have widgets, but that's stuff that like you see
you
on
can you can put it away.
Right, but that's what you see on
can hide
Windows.
it. You can-
Well, like on a
you can delete.
Sony laptop, you get like their weird little,
Right.
dock thing. But
Right.
they didn't.
Which I know you love
They
so
didn't
much.
reskin Windows.
Right. No. And like when you
So-
open the app tray, it's the same, and all that sort of stuff looks.
So I wonder
It
if-
looks like stock,
Do you think this means something
as in
Like for honeycomb.
for
like,
life.
Or they,
for the world? Do you think that Google is going to put the brakes on people skinning this?
No,
stuff?
because
They can't
eventually.
forever. Eventually, they will release the open source, and people will do whatever they want.
Right.
But
Or will they?
maybe their
like
partners
the
like
drum sound
Samsung and
again.
Motorola will stop skinning. That would be a beautiful dream realized.
I think,
You want
I mean,
Motorola to stop
It's a really
skinning
ominous.
only.
The drum is back as soon as you said they're going to start skinning again.
Well, I wish they would stop, to be honest.
Yes.
And I wish that we
The
could all get
skinning
on.
of the drums.
We've been railing about that for about.
I mean, it's a
like-
good OS, like, and Honeycomb is good. Like,
And now
just,
they have Matthias doing like real design.
yeah,
for
he's
UI.
the real deal.
So
John
came
knows.
Right from Palm.
Came from Paul. I should have talked to him about that.
Yeah, well,
Pretty soon, Matthias will have designed either directly or indirectly everybody's
Every
operating
OS.
system.
Yeah. He's gonna get
He's just
hired
going
at
to
Apple.
make the rounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
so I mean, I think that's the honeycomb question. We'll find out because
I
Google
love
has
that
said.
book, The Honeycomb Question.
Yeah, no, it's a murder mystery about drums.
Yeah.
And bees, apparently. No, so that's like we're going to find out if Google's going to let people
Right.
skin honeycomb. I think my bigger question, looking at this and looking at what they did in response to Apple with the tablets, is when is Samsung going to stop copying people, right? I mean, they basically have turned into like the world's largest and most respected like iterative kerf manufacturer.
I've heard you say this before. Your
Yeah.
theory is
You just
that
hate Koreans.
your
Racist.
your
And
feeling
with that, I
is
must go. How do you even rebut that? Like, no, dude, I have Korean friends. Like,
no. Don't say that. No. That's the wrong response. Something like my mother is Korean. Would be good. That's what I would have said. And you are a bad person for saying that. But so your theory, I just want to make sure I'm hearing you properly. Your theory is that they basically are kerfing stuff like the iPhone, like they're
really good. No, here's
the
the thing.
Galaxy S.
yeah, and then we look at the TouchWiz. The skin is like the one that looks like the iPhone, the most like the iPhone.
Yeah, it does,
And
that's
I
true.
think that the answer to the question I've heard people say on
Super
Twitter
AMOLED
today
Retina
is
display.
why isn't their Windows hardware as good as the MacBook Air? And it's like if any company is going to answer that question, it's Samsung. It's always Samsung. They're really great at it, but they're never the ones to lead.
What about
the next,
what about
they're,
the
they're not
HP?
the ones who come out with
what
this.
about the Envy, which looks like a totally curvy
Yeah.
MacBook,
That's true.
but it's got some like patterns on it.
Right, but I think that's like a Windows PC, like in general.
I just don't know why you're not going after HP.
Well, I hate Koreans.
Oh, come on.
No, that's not it.
I think Samsung just represents that most good technology ideas in a year or so become commodified.
And Samsung's a really
And
good commodity
Samsung's the
manufacturer.
quickest. They're just the quickest.
Right, but
and
it's
they're
like
good
what
at
they
it.
did it with the tablet. Like they saw the iPad 2 and they got to producing mock-ups of their next tablet about as fast as any kerf
But
manufacturer.
they didn't do it with the
would.
Galaxy Tab. I mean, they went way off course on that.
But I think Google wouldn't let
But
them
that's all they
build a
could do.
bigger tablet.
Yeah, they
right?
didn't have the they
If
couldn't.
Samsung could have built a 10-inch
Yeah.
Galaxy Tab, they would have done it.
It would have looked really
How
hilarious.
crazy? How crazy is the situation that they built this tablet? And they're like, it's the Galaxy Tab, and now it's basically like a completely orphaned product.
Well, no, we have one of the pictures we have is like the family of tablets, and it's the whole range of
Yeah.
sizes.
Yeah,
I think
but
there's
that's
an,
I
obviously-
actually like
that was-
that. I like that a lot. The
That's just
fact that there's options.
I'm fine with it being
I
a
actually
range of
really
sizes,
like
but they sold a
8.9.
tablet to people they knew was like way less capable than what they could sell a year from, or not even 6 months from that point.
Right.
They knew
Yeah.
Honeycomb was coming. They
Oh,
knew
they
it was
just
made
wanted
for
to rush it.
tablets.
Yeah, you're totally right.
They were
They
like,
wanted
we
to
can just
rush
get
it
some
out.
people to buy this piece of crap
Yeah.
in the meantime. They'll never know. They won't know the difference. And like, well, they do know the difference.
right. Well, I mean, it sold fairly
the
well.
news was today actually that Samsung paid people to.
Oh yeah,
like
they're
the
ads.
Galaxy
They're,
Tab.
so at CTIA, Samsung
Wait,
ran
what?
these. I'm going to tell the story. It's going to be great.
By all means.
It's a It was the darkest
Last
story
story you ever
Everybody
tell.
It's the last story I ever told. It's about my youth. No, it's
Korean.
CTIA.
IR blasters.
Yeah, it's about IR blasters. At
his mom.
CTIA, Samsung ran these promos. They're like, here's 3 case studies of people who love their Galaxy tabs.
Yeah.
And like, one was a filmmaker, and one was a real estate CEO.
Yeah, one was a business guy,
And one
yeah.
was like a businesswoman. And then it turned out that none of those people
They were
are
all
actually
actors.
people. They're actors. And like, Samsung just lied.
Let me
like,
get
no
this
one's
straight.
actually happy with the Galaxy
Let me
tab.
try to understand what you're
They're all
saying.
actual iPad owners.
Samsung created ads for its products.
They're not ads. They're like, they're supposed
But
to be
they-
real
they
life.
But they
sort of
were,
made
but they
them
served
to
the purpose
be-
of an ad. They
Yes.
just looked like something else.
Yeah,
It
And
seemed
then
like they
paid
were more
actors to
testimonials.
lie about their product.
You are so jaded. You should take a break from like.
Maybe I will.
writing
We
about
We should move
technology.
on. There other things happen
Yeah.
at
There
are.
CTI
Let's
as
do it
well,
quick.
right?
We got to go. We got to blaze through this. We're over time. So let's
What
just.
else happened at CTIA? We saw some new phones. Sprint had a big press conference.
Sprint had a huge. I think the
the
biggest
Evo
one.
3D,
3D phones.
3D phones.
And you're like an Evo fan. Look at your
What,
face,
you don't like
man.
the 3D phones? You don't like
Here's
the
what I
3D
want-
phones?
disappointed
Here's
you
what I
are.
want to know. Is it?
No.
How many? Wait, hold on. Before you answer, before you say anything.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just,
Before you
just
even-
shut up. Who
You
in
don't have
this,
to take
who in
that.
this
I love hanging
audience
out with you guys.
has and uses a 3D television? Can I get a show of hands?
Ooh.
1,
What?
2.
Oh,
Three.
No,
Four.
you're just joining the group.
All right, let's say 4.
You're
Let's say
like, my
Ben-
dude has one, so I guess I
I think we can be generous and give it a
Let's say,
5.
let's say benefit of the doubt. There's about 5 people out of 350 or so, whatever
Right.
we have in this audience.
And this is a self-selected
I know-
group.
yeah.
And this
And
is
you call yourself nerds.
But I don't think 3D television is cut on in the least, right? And is the next thing, like, are they like, what if we brought, okay, 3D's not catching on televisions, but what if we had 3D phones? 3D could still happen. Is there any real need?
Well,
No.
so the-
There's no need.
Is there any? Does anybody
Paul
want?
says no
Okay, let's say there's no need.
But
Does
is it
anybody
a
want-
luxury?
Does anybody
Yeah.
want one?
Well, I've said this before. The advantage here is that it's you don't need glasses,
And you have it
that's,
with you.
That's the main thing that's stopping.
If you
people
want
from-
if you want 3D.
right. You just turn
That's
on.
the least 3D screen I've
Because
ever
you can
seen.
turn that.
But I'm saying,
I wish I could
that's
see the
like
weather.
making the assumption that like you're like, I really want a 3D phone, but I don't want to have to wear those glasses all day while I'm using my 3D phone. I wish there was a solution. They're like, actually,
I think we just came up with their first ad.
Well, no,
Yeah.
so look, the back of the Evo
should
3D
pay
actually has a
people
3D
for that.
camera in it. And I think people
Yeah,
might be,
that's-
this is
We
like
were
fairly
doing camera is
intriguing.
cool.
right?
That's
we
the
were
point.
taking some
That's the
3D
point right there.
like 3D
Can
pictures
you do 3D
backstage
video
with
with that thing?
Yeah.
something
So
else.
that's
And there's
like
a switch on
novel.
it. So and I think that's what's great about now getting more 3D products in people's hands is we can actually make the content, the 3D content.
I think the content
right?
creation is the one place where it
Right.
might save 3D if people actually like looking at 3D images, which I believe remains to be seen. But we certainly like viewfinders.
Right.
Those are 3D, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they create an illusion of 3D.
Do you mean like the old viewfinders where you put the
Yeah, the
The
wheel,
card
and
in.
then you got the little this guy.
Yeah, that was the
Good
best
point.
3D.
I mean, but like that's a really low level use
What if
for
that
3D.
could fit in your pocket, Josh?
What if I didn't have to use a viewfinder? What if it was just
What if
there?
you didn't have to put a paper slip in the?
So on this 3D note, we actually have a
Uh-oh.
demo here.
I'm gonna produce a magic trick by getting this out
Is it
of,
gonna be
of
in
my
3D?
jeans.
So skinny jeans, you hipster.
3D.
So we have a 3DS.
3DS. Have you guys
Which
heard
has
of this?
a 3D camera, by the
This
way.
has a
Yeah.
3D camera. This
Read out,
does
Bill.
this does 3D on
Yeah.
screen, but it also does some amazing augmented
the
reality stuff. Here, let me move
laptops out of
these.
the way?
These terribly thin.
So this is
These
the,
PC
the
devices.
funny thing about this is that and Tim Stevens.
Stop shaking around so much. This guy's trying to get a.
Tim Stevens
focus.
reviewed this for Engadget, and the augmented reality, which is pretty awesome, is probably the best part of this, not actually the 3D display.
Can you zoom in on the screen?
And when you turn on the 3D display, you know, the whole problem with these 3D displays right now is that they have a really finite viewing angle, and so when you're moving around doing augmented reality
Yeah,
stuff,
I can
you
barely see
can't-
the screen
You can't do
right
3D,
now.
so,
So
I'm going to turn
Yeah.
off 3D so I can actually play this, and I'm going to play a little archery.
I want to.
game.
Can I just see something?
Is this sound off on this?
Doesn't matter.
Someone's messing with it.
That was
Thanks, Tim.
Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, so wait, hold on. Now, can I just do something?
Don't mess with it.
I just want to see something.
Oh,
Hold
he's
on.
shooting at the thing
Wait.
coming out of the box.
Oh, did I screw it up?
Yeah, it doesn't
you
like it
can't
when
move
you
I
do
can't
that.
move. I can't move it.
No.
Well, that's lame.
This is very exciting.
Yeah. You should kill that thing. Get it.
So does this open the whole this open the hole in the table? Look at
Yeah,
this.
there is a hole in the
How
table
crazy!
right
So
now.
it took the
That's so
card
crazy.
and opened like a space in the table, which just blows my mind. I mean, I know maybe this is silly, but this seems
That is
extremely
awesome.
futuristic to me.
I know,
what
but then
if
when you
had-
look at him like that, it looks crazy.
This is something I want glasses for. Like make
But that's the thing.
augmented
That's the
reality
thing.
glasses.
You can't do this in 3D because you're moving it around.
No, but
Because
I was
that's a
doing it in
screen
3D
technology.
don't tell me I
before.
can't do that.
You looked extremely hilarious, by the way. when you were doing
Yeah,
it.
when I was shooting Josh's face in the,
Yeah.
what was the name of that game?
Face Raiders.
But yeah,
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
What is
that
what
was
is
in
that?
3D.
So, Face Raiders, you take a picture of somebody's face and then you mercilessly shoot them.
Yes.
Like over and over again in 3D.
Nice game.
And also,
Yeah.
And then
also
it says
it's really
you shot the
interesting
boss,
because it's
which is
yeah,
ironic.
Anyhow, you get an idea of what this thing can do, and I think this is actually more exciting than the 3D stuff.
Right,
It
and
is.
You know what's
Yeah,
funny
that
about
looks great.
what
I don't have
Nintendo's
a
doing
headache.
with the 3DS is that
I'm
they've
having so
said
much fun.
all of the games have to be completely playable. Can we turn that down? All the games have to be playable in 2D, right? So it's almost like they've devalued the 3D nature of the device in terms of gameplay, because the game is like you turn on the 3D slider, and it's just kind of more 3D. You're not getting any gameplay experiences out of it. But the 3D camera, this augmented reality stuff, that's like the more interesting handheld. The question is whether anyone's going to buy this over like a dedicated gaming or like a phone,
Yeah.
right, or like an iPod Touch,
Yeah,
because
but that's the thing.
it's limited. In
Yeah,
its
you
sort
could
of
do all that
possibilities.
augmented reality stuff with the iPhone.
Wow, that's
very
upsetting.
easily.
Call me crazy,
Is
but
this
I,
Nintendo's last great hit? That's my big question.
I don't know.
Call me crazy,
was
but I
so wrong
like
with
the,
DS that
3D. I can play this later on. Anyhow, it's a fascinating device that I think everybody should run
All right,
out
so we
and
have
buy.
two more things to talk about.
What is the here's the news.
RIM announced the
Oh.
playbook.
Oh, yeah,
we talked about it with John a little bit.
Playbook running Android.
Running Android, but it's not really running Android. You have to download an app player, which is like a self-contained virtual machine, and developers have to put their Android apps in the app world. So it's kind of like they closed off Android.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I feel like if they just said the playbook will just run Android apps, so you can go out and download APKs and it'll just work.
No, that's what people want.
I mean but
Because if I could get the playbook, and I could run all the Android stuff on it, like I could go download Amazon's new App
Right.
Store, App Store, patent pending.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That's like, why would I go get it? I can have the best of
right,
both
but
worlds.
that takes you out of the
if I wanted the other world, the playbook world.
Right.
Is it the best of both worlds?
If you want the security and that crap.
Yeah, I do, and I need that.
Well, I mean, and RIM's going to sell this thing to the enterprise, so they can't be like, you can just go get whatever apps you want. They're like, they're very secure. But it's also like, you're just trying everything that you can possibly
No,
try.
yeah, it's like I think this is an amazing feat of technology that this platform is able to run like full performance Android sort of stuff. At the same time, it's really sad for them that they have to do that
Yeah.
to succeed.
No,
to
I mean,
to have a hope of
that was
succeeding.
my question.
Because
Now
it's
it
just
runs-
so hyper competitive.
Doesn't it just become like another Android tablet? Now it's competing with the Zoom and it's competing with whatever else is out there. The
It's an Android tablet
Galaxy
with the
tab,
WebOS
Galaxy
UI.
tab. Yeah, seriously, it's like WebOS
It takes
UI
the best of
on
everything.
BlackBerry OS.
Well, no, so I mean,
But
the,
it can
the
run
list
Android
is
apps.
crazy. It's
Right, now,
so it can run Android, it can run Java apps for the BlackBerry phones.
Air.
It's supposed to do Flash and Air.
It does do Flash.
Well, I mean, they didn't talk about it yesterday. Or
Well,
the
it
day
definitely
before.
does. I've
So
seen it. We've
Flash
seen
and
it.
Air. They've got a native SDK for game. Look, they're missing BASIC, I think. They're missing like logo, COBOL.
Yeah, COBOL.
Fortran.
Fortran. And like, RIM CEO, both of their CEOs have been like, you don't need apps when you have the web. And now they have every app development platform. available.
They've also been saying
right.
they've also been saying the most galling thing, which to me is like, we don't need to make our phones powerful because you're going to have this powerful tablet.
Right.
And it's like, well, that actually is.
What you need is a really
huge
tiny
amount of
phone.
bull pucky.
You could just make your phone really tiny.
And call it the Veer.
No, but John at least said like
At
this
least
can
with
do
that,
this
yeah.
is like can run all of the apps and it can do
At
3D.
half the speed.
It can do
No,
it's
it's got a full-
fast. It can do 3D gaming.
800 megahertz versus 1.4
Yeah, but
gigahertz.
if you
I thought
see
it was
the
1.4.
games
That's
on
what's
it,
in every BlackBerry.
it looks as fast. I mean, it looks as fast as like the Pre 2, which is pretty fast. I mean, it looks like a smartphone.
Just because John
Just
gave
tiny.
you a back rub back.
Have you used the Torch? Have you played
No,
a
I
game
know.
on the Torch?
Obviously, a lot better.
It's not
It's
in
a
the
lot
same
better
vicinity.
than what BlackBerry
It's like
is doing.
it's like.
But I still can't
We're
understand.
still never getting a good BlackBerry
How
You
how
sound so sad.
No, Joanna was a BlackBerry user and she
Right.
had to switch to a Droid 2.
Yeah, and now I'm not very happy with my Droid 2,
You
which
aren't?
is a good segue
You wanna-
into color.
Yeah,
that I
we
couldn't-
got to wrap this
I
up.
tried
We
to
gotta-
use color on my Droid 2, and
Does
it
everybody
kept
know what
crashing.
color is? It's a new app that they're trying to turn the world into a panopticon.
the social
I don't know
network.
if you know what a panopticon is. It's
photos.
basically
That's really
Right.
what it is.
Basically, where you can see everybody doing everything all the time. I mean, that's one interpretation of how you
So
might
it's
use
this
it.
app that came out. I think most people think it's kind of dumb, and I'm on record thinking it's kind of dumb. However, it only works in large groups of people who have the app.
And
Explain what it does.
Eli's usually very alone.
Explain what it does.
Yeah, and I tried to use it yesterday in my apartment. I'm like, there's nobody here.
But weirdly, there was a picture. So the idea is you take a picture
So I
somewhere.
take a picture, you all open the app, and everybody who's in the same room can see all the pictures.
Does
that
anybody
everybody
here
else is
have
taking.
this color app on their devices?
Yeah, there's at least.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
putting it
because
There
I
are
can see
5
all of you
people
here.
here who have. Okay, so I think what Eli wants to do is a little experiment.
I just want to see if this actually works.
He
Because
wants to
this
have a
company
moment.
got $41 million in funding, and Sequoia Capital said this is the next Google. I think that is probably not true.
Sequoia
the only
Capital
way-
is they're smoking
They're
some
huge.
fine
Yeah.
stuff out
Some
there.
fine Sequoia.
The next Google.
Yeah. Which makes no sense, but
Well,
it
think about
only
it.
works.
You could apply it to lots of different scenarios, lots of different situations.
Not if it
like,
keeps
for example,
crashing.
the Engadget show when 5 people in the audience have a phone with
Well,
color
5 today, but you
Is
know when
anyone
Google
having a problem on
started.
the
Tomorrow,
Android app?
10.
tomorrow.
All right, fine.
And then
Let's
at
just.
Google.
Yeah, tomorrow's
All right, so are we going to try this, or I'm going to take a picture and
So
we
we're
can
going
see
to
what it
try to
looks
use this
like?
app together
need
as
the
a,
handle.
as
Is
a
anyone
family.
using it on
actually.
Android? It crashes, right?
Right.
Crashed at
Okay.
41 million,
It's not
and they
just
could not
me.
get a stable Android
I'm
version.
just so happy it's not
That's
just
why they
me.
needed all that money to build
Look,
the
I'll be
Android.
honest, I can't code, but you give me $1 million, and I will find a way to make a stable Android version of your app.
Hire him.
And I'm
Color.
gonna have
Color.
time.
Some
too.
people say Josh is the next Google.
I am. Sure. Ask me anything. Feeling lucky?
All right. I'm taking this picture, and this is happening.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay, is anybody taking a photo using the
Everyone,
app?
I see a lot of people using it.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is
now what
happening.
happens?
So can we get the handheld over here?
But
We
it
can
makes you take a picture of yourself first before you,
Yeah.
which is also very complicated.
No, that's great, because you want to have your privacy invaded as much as
Joanna,
possible.
Joanna tried to
It's
take
on
like
3G.
10 pictures
So you can
of
see
herself
all
back
these
then.
other
It kept
pictures that people have been
crashing.
taking of the show
Where are
over
they?
time. They're loading. That's me. I'm apparently much too unattractive for the. That's
Okay.
us at the show. So here's all the other pictures
crashed.
people
So
are
this is
taking.
working.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
There's
working.
going to be a penis on there any second, I know it. I know how this works. Is there anything
all
to
the
stop
others.
that from happening? Trent,
It's something.
put your phone down right now.
So I mean, it works. Here's Joanna
There's
backstage
Joanna.
struggling to use it on Android.
I hate that thing.
It's a nice picture. What's happening?
Oh, and it's updated. These are all the pictures that are coming in now. So you
Boring.
can see them. Yeah. So and
Yeah,
there's
it's boring.
yo, what up?
Who's this? Where is this? Where is this person?
I don't know. Anyway, we wanted to try because I knew I would never be in another environment this nerdy where I could be like, everybody get an app.
Wow.
Like most of you
Well,
would do it.
that was-
I tried it at the bar last night and everyone was like, no.
I would describe
We're
that.
not gonna do
I would
that.
describe that as a transcendent experience.
It was.
I feel more connected
Thank
to
you,
this
everybody.
group of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
Thank you
going.
for participating.
And on that
Part of that.
It realized crazy.
On that note, we're gonna hear some music from Minus Baby and see some visuals from the Seamen. And then we're going to give away an NV14, and we've got 10 Cyberlink Power Director 9 pieces of software to hand
Joanna has a
out.
number of things from CTIA, yeah?
You have some swag from CTIA?
Actually, they stole it in the back room.
It's been stolen. So, but an HP
You
Envy.
guys don't get this.
So stick
Yeah, the
around,
HP Envy's way
check
better.
out some music, and then we'll be back to do some
Nina stole
giveaways.
it
Thank you
all.
guys so much
Yeah.
for coming
Thank
out.
you.
Really appreciate it.